He's got guys here who could copy the Mona Lisa so that Mona's own...
Well, you must know just about everybody in town here.
5 villages completely wiped out. Houses burned, cattle slaughtered.
The 1950s marked the dawn of television as a cultural phenomenon in America. But not every show captured the audience's imagination. Amid the excitement of live broadcasts and pioneering formats, many series struggled with poor ratings, unrelatable plots, or lackluster execution. Some were canceled after just a handful of episodes, while others barely lasted a single season. From quirky comedies to ambitious dramas, join us as we explore 25 forgotten TV shows from the 1950s that failed miserably, proving that even in television's formative years, success was never guaranteed. In the mid-1950s, NBC attempted to capture the growing popularity of televised variety shows with the NBC Comedy Hour, a program featuring stand-up routines, comedy sketches, and guest performances. Despite a promising format, the series struggled to distinguish itself from other variety programs of the era. Audiences found the humor uneven, with some sketches falling flat and failing to resonate with the emerging television demographic.
The old fella says, "Boy, I just don't understand that. It was only up to here on my ducks."
Production inconsistencies and scheduling challenges further hampered the show's potential. NBC canceled the program after a single season. Today, the NBC Comedy Hour is largely forgotten, remembered primarily as an early experiment in televised variety comedy, and as an example of how even established networks struggled to find the right comedic formula in the 1950s. After NBC's attempt at comedy with the NBC Comedy Hour, could audiences handle another short-lived spectacle like Glamour Girl? Glamour Girl attempted to blend melodrama with the burgeoning fascination with Hollywood glamour, centering on the life of an ambitious young woman navigating show business. While the concept aligned with popular cultural interests of the 1950s, the execution was flawed, featuring predictable storylines, underdeveloped characters, and stiff performances. Audiences quickly grew disinterested as the series failed to offer compelling drama or relatable tension. The show struggled in ratings against more dynamic programs of the time, leading NBC to cancel it after just one season. Today, Glamour Girl is largely forgotten, remembered primarily as a reflection of early television's fascination with celebrity culture and as an example of a 1950s series that failed to engage viewers effectively. Amid the rise of musical programming in early television, Melody Street sought to showcase live musical performances and celebrity appearances in a variety show format. Despite the potential appeal to music lovers, the show suffered from inconsistent talent selection, awkward pacing, and production limitations inherent to early TV. Viewers found the performances uneven.
If you can come around, at least please telephone.
And the show struggled to create a cohesive entertainment experience. Dumont Television Network canceled the series after a single season, as it failed to compete with more polished or innovative musical programs. Today, Melody Street is remembered mainly as a curious relic of 1950s television history, notable for its ambition but ultimately unsuccessful in delivering engaging weekly musical entertainment. In the mid-1950s, The Stranger attempted to capture viewers with a suspenseful, dramatic premise centered on a mysterious figure whose past and identity created intrigue and tension. Despite the potential for a compelling thriller, the series suffered from weak writing, underdeveloped characters, and a lack of consistent narrative tension.
Mr. Wilson is here on a very serious matter. We must try to help him every way possible. He wants to ask a few questions of you.
Audiences struggled to connect with the episodic mysteries, and the show's pacing often felt uneven. Dumont Television Network canceled the program after a single season due to low ratings. Today, The Stranger is largely forgotten, remembered mainly as an early attempt at televised suspense drama that failed to balance mystery, storytelling, and audience engagement during the formative years of 1950s television. Inspired by the popular comic book character, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, brought adventure and exotic settings to early television audiences. Starring a female protagonist navigating the wild and battling villains, the show was ambitious for its time. However, limited production budgets, rudimentary special effects, and repetitive storylines undermined its appeal. Critics and viewers found the plots predictable.
Well, insurance is like betting. It started out with ships full of valuable cargo, understand?
Yes, only the cargo owners bet the ship is going to sink.
Why?
And the series struggled to attract a substantial audience. The show was canceled after just one season. Today, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, is remembered as a pioneering yet flawed attempt at female-led action television. Notable for its adventurous spirit but hindered by 1950s production limitations and narrative shortcomings. Doc Corkle attempted to blend family comedy with medical themes, focusing on the titular doctor and his interactions with patients and relatives. Despite the promise of situational humor, the writing lacked wit, and the characters were thinly drawn, leaving audiences disengaged. NBC struggled to find a consistent tone, alternating between lighthearted comedy and overly dramatic situations.
Told her it would cost her $5,000. She said she didn't care, and I went over to pick up the cash.
Which contributed to audience confusion. Ratings quickly declined, and the network canceled the show after just a few episodes. Today, Doc Corkle is largely forgotten, serving as an example of early television's trial-and-error approach to situational comedy, illustrating how even conceptually interesting shows could fail due to execution and lack of audience connection. Big Town was a crime drama adapted from the popular radio series of the same name, centering on editor Steve Wilson and his crusade against corruption in a bustling city newspaper. The show attempted to bring the fast-paced, gritty style of radio to television, featuring investigations, confrontations, and moral dilemmas. Despite its established name and talented cast,
Wilson talking. Hiya, Mac. No, I can't spare a Merrily yet.
the series struggled to adapt to the visual medium. Budget constraints led to limited sets and production values that paled in comparison to other emerging TV dramas. Ratings remained modest, and audiences gradually lost interest. After 6 years on the air, moving between CBS and NBC, Big Town quietly ended, now remembered mainly as a relic of early television experimentation rather than a lasting hit. As television was still in its experimental phase, Out There attempted to bring science fiction and adventure to living rooms, focusing on extraordinary stories set in far-off lands and mysterious locations. The series' ambition was notable for early 1950s TV, but its limited production budgets, primitive special effects, and uneven storytelling prevented it from captivating audiences. Episodes often suffered from over-the-top plots that failed to balance suspense and believability.
No, I haven't tasted raspberry cordial since I was quite a lad.
Haven't you?
No, I was a regular little glutton for them.
CBS canceled the series after just one season due to low ratings and a lackluster reception. Today, Out There is remembered as an early effort to explore adventure and sci-fi themes on television, notable more for its ambition than its execution or cultural impact. Decoy was groundbreaking as one of the first television series to feature a female police officer, starring Beverly Garland as an undercover cop navigating New York's criminal underworld. While praised for its progressive premise and Garland's compelling performance, the show struggled with production limitations, including low budgets and occasionally awkward direction.
Coin first, Casey.
Maybe she's afraid of burglars.
Yeah, maybe she's right. She was choked to death last night.
Not for this, Lieutenant. You can buy these for $1 all over town.
Despite its unique angle, audience engagement was inconsistent. It was distributed via first-run syndication. Decoy today is recognized for its pioneering role in depicting strong female leads in law enforcement, influencing later television dramas, even though it failed to achieve lasting mainstream popularity during its brief run in the late 1950s. One of television's earliest police procedurals, The Plainclothesman experimented with a first-person narrative, presenting the show entirely from the perspective of a detective's eyes. While innovative, this approach proved challenging for viewers and restricted storytelling flexibility.
$1 even.
Say, I wonder if you'd do me a little favor.
What's that?
Well, my wife and I just moved into the neighborhood. We don't know any people around here, and I just got my dividend check from the VA. I'm looking for someone to...
Episodes often felt static, and performances occasionally came across as stiff due to the technical limitations of early live broadcasts. Although the show ran longer than many contemporaries, lasting until 1954, it never achieved major ratings success and gradually faded from public attention. Today, The Plainclothesman is remembered as a creative experiment in narrative perspective, notable for pushing the boundaries of early television storytelling despite failing to secure widespread popularity or enduring cultural impact. My Hero was an American sitcom starring Bob Cummings as Robert Beanblossom, a real estate salesman who constantly found himself in hilarious predicaments. Despite its lighthearted tone and Cummings' charm, the show struggled to stand out in the early days of television when audiences craved strong storytelling and relatable humor. Its premise lacked originality, relying heavily on slapstick situations and predictable gags that quickly grew stale.
Of course you could, sir. Why, Mr. Thackeray's one of the best real estate men in all California. He knows that border area like he knows the palm of his hand.
Well, then it is settled. We have a lead.
Poor writing and limited character development made it hard for viewers to connect with the series. After one short season, My Hero was canceled, becoming a forgotten relic of 1950s TV. Today, it's remembered as an example of how star power alone couldn't save a weak concept in the competitive golden age of television. The Hank McCoon Show is often remembered less for its content and more for historic innovation. It was the first television sitcom to use a laugh track. Starring comedian Hank McCoon as a bumbling, good-natured character navigating everyday mishaps, the show attempted to blend radio-style humor with the new medium of television. Unfortunately, the gimmick of canned laughter could not mask its weak scripts, flat delivery, and lack of engaging storylines.
Now listen, will you stop this stuff? Can't you see you're going to throw us all off our course? We'll be lost. Oh, tut-tut, my boy, I know these waters like the...
Audiences were unimpressed, and critics dismissed it as uninspired. The series was canceled after only one season, vanishing almost as quickly as it arrived. While the show itself failed miserably, its pioneering use of the laugh track left a lasting, if controversial, legacy in TV comedy. The Unexpected was an anthology drama series that aimed to deliver suspenseful stories with surprise twist endings, much like a forerunner to The Twilight Zone. Each half-hour episode presented standalone tales of crime, mystery, or moral dilemmas, often featuring guest stars such as Raymond Burr and Gail Storm. Despite these efforts, the series suffered from Dumont's chronic budget limitations.
Mr. Dodd! Mr. Dodd!
What is it? What's the matter? You've been going around in a circle.
Which left the production looking cheap compared to its network rivals. Scripts were inconsistent, and the stories rarely lived up to the promise of their dramatic setups. Viewers quickly lost interest, and the show failed to build a loyal following. Canceled within a year, The Unexpected became yet another forgotten casualty of Dumont's short-lived programming experiments. The Pinky Lee Show was a children's variety program starring the energetic and zany Pinky Lee, featuring songs, slapstick comedy, and lively audience interaction. The show debuted on NBC in 1954 and quickly became popular among younger viewers for its fast-paced humor and colorful antics. However, Lee's frenetic performance style sometimes overwhelmed families, and the program faced challenges in sustaining consistent quality.
The ballet? Oh, Pinky, for heaven's sakes, why on earth do you want to do a thing like that?
Well, that's all right, Miss Lane. That's all right. I'll get along somehow.
In 1955, during a live broadcast, Pinky Lee collapsed on stage due to serious health issues, which ultimately forced the show off the air by 1956 after about 2 years. Today, The Pinky Lee Show is remembered as a quirky, high-energy experiment in children's entertainment, one that paved the way for later kids' programming but ended abruptly due to its host's health struggles. The Edsel Show was a one-off television special produced to promote Ford's new Edsel car line, featuring Bing Crosby and other high-profile entertainers. While intended to showcase the car and entertain viewers, the The special's overtly commercial focus, combined with uneven performances and a disjointed format, limited its appeal.
You gotta hear me with the princess. I'm much, she's good in town. Took it on the Arthur, didn't she?
Listen, what about the big plan that you
Oh, the
opened up
plan.
with?
Well, I tell you, like...
Audiences found the program more promotional than entertaining, and it failed to generate significant ratings impact or cultural momentum. Though it was not a series, its notoriety as a failed marketing and television experiment makes it noteworthy. Today, The Edsel Show is remembered as an ambitious yet flawed attempt to blend commercial advertising with entertainment, coinciding with the eventual commercial failure of the Edsel itself. After The Edsel Show, could projects like The Mickey Rooney Show keep audiences tuned in? The Mickey Rooney Show, also known as Hey Mulligan, was a sitcom starring the legendary actor as a struggling actor navigating the challenges of Hollywood while pursuing his dreams. The series attempted to capitalize on Mickey Mulligan's established fame and charm from his film career, blending comedy with behind-the-scenes glimpses of show business. Despite his talent and charisma, the show struggled to connect with television audiences.
Pop, look what somebody hung on our door.
I wonder how that happened.
Sabotage.
As the scripts often felt formulaic and the situational humor failed to resonate. CBS canceled the series after just one season. Today, The Mickey Rooney Show is largely forgotten, remembered primarily as an example of early 1950s television attempting to transition major film stars to the small screen, highlighting both ambition and the limitations of execution. The Bob Hope Show brought the legendary comedian from radio to television, featuring a mix of stand-up routines, musical performances, and celebrity guests. While initially drawing viewers with Hope's star power and established comedic style, the show faced challenges adapting radio humor to the visual medium.
One of them smells counterfeit. Look, I think I'm a guppy short here.
Uncle Wal, let me go now.
Yeah, okay, you did a nice job, kid.
Some sketches felt outdated or forced, and production quality varied between episodes. Over time, audience interest waned, and NBC canceled the program after 5 years. Today, The Bob Hope Show is remembered more as a testament to the transitional period of television comedy, highlighting the difficulties radio stars faced in sustaining long-running TV programs despite initial popularity. The Goldbergs was one of television's earliest family sitcoms, adapted from Gertrude Berg's long-running and beloved radio show. Centered on the warm, wisecracking Jewish matriarch Molly Goldberg and her family in the Bronx, the series initially found success by offering relatable humor and a window into immigrant life. However, the transition from radio to television was rocky.
Oh, hello. You know, I didn't know it was supposed to be fair and milder. Looks to me like it's fixing to...
Production changes, network switches, and mounting controversies, including sponsor withdrawals during the Red Scare, undermined its stability. Audiences drifted toward newer, flashier family sitcoms, leaving the Goldbergs struggling to maintain relevance. Despite its groundbreaking role in portraying Jewish American life, the show fizzled by the mid-1950s. Today, it is remembered more as a cultural landmark than a lasting television success. Bonino was a short-lived musical sitcom starring operatic tenor Ezio Pinza as the widowed father of a lively Italian-American family. The show attempted to blend comedy, music, and domestic drama, with Pinza performing songs alongside scripted family scenarios.
Fantastique, je vous assure. Look, I asked. Look what they would have me wear.
Despite its unique premise and Pinza's star power, Bonino struggled to resonate with audiences. The writing was uneven, and critics noted that the musical elements often felt forced into otherwise mundane storylines. Competing against more established family sitcoms of the era, the series failed to find a consistent viewership. After only 8 episodes, NBC canceled Bonino. Today, the show is remembered as an ambitious but flawed experiment in merging operatic performance with early 1950s television comedy. The Red Skelton Show was one of the pioneering variety programs of early television, showcasing Skelton's slapstick humor, comedic sketches, and memorable characters. While the show achieved immense popularity in its early years and earned critical acclaim, some segments later struggled to connect with younger audiences as tastes evolved.
You know, not only am I a very dear friend of John, but little Richard and Valentina.
Particularly with the rise of more modern and fast-paced comedy formats. NBC and CBS shifted scheduling and experimented with formats, but by the late 1960s, ratings were in decline. Despite a long run of 20 years, the show eventually ended. Today, The Red Skelton Show is remembered nostalgically as a cornerstone of early TV comedy, though parts of its later run highlight the challenges of sustaining variety programming over decades. If Skelton found success, could The Steve Allen Show innovate enough to impress audiences in the mid-50s? The Steve Allen Show was a trailblazer in late-night television, blending talk show elements, comedy sketches, and musical performances. Steve Allen's quick wit and improvisational style drew viewers, but the program sometimes struggled with inconsistent pacing and experimental segments that did not resonate with all audiences.
Don, what part of the country are you from? What's your hometown?
New York is my home, Steve.
Well,
CBS and NBC faced challenges in marketing the show to a broad demographic, and ratings eventually declined as competition increased and late-night programming evolved. After 4 seasons, the show was canceled. Today, The Steve Allen Show is remembered as an influential platform that shaped the modern late-night format, highlighting both the creative possibilities and limitations of 1950s television variety programs. Honestly, Celeste was a short-lived sitcom starring Tony Award-winning actress Celeste Holm as a charming but scatterbrained young woman navigating work, romance, and social situations. The show aimed to capitalize on Holm's stage fame, blending witty dialogue with lighthearted comedy.
Cried and stepped aside, and along come pretty little May. May was full.
However, the series quickly faltered due to inconsistent writing, awkward pacing, and scripts that failed to showcase Holmes' talents effectively. Audiences found the humor uneven, and the character development was minimal, leaving little to engage viewers week after week. Despite the network's hopes, Honestly Celeste struggled to attract a following and was canceled after a brief run. Today, it is largely forgotten, remembered primarily as a failed attempt to transition a Broadway star to early television. As one of the earliest science fiction series on television, Captain Video and his Video Rangers became a pioneer of televised adventure. Airing on the Dumont Network, the show followed Captain Video and his young Rangers as they battled intergalactic villains and defended Earth.
Your own free will, I think possibly we can persuade you. Now, I assume that the longer I delay using this, the happier you will be.
Despite its historical significance, the series suffered from extremely low production budgets, resulting in crude special effects, awkward props, and simplistic storytelling. Critics and audiences often mocked these limitations, and the show struggled to maintain consistent quality. Dumont canceled it in 1955 after 6 years. Today, Captain Video and his Video Rangers is remembered nostalgically as a trailblazer in sci-fi television, notable more for its ambition than its execution. As early sci-fi struggled, could family sitcoms like The Stu Irwin Show resonate with audiences? The Stu Irwin Show, also known as Trouble with Father, was a family sitcom centered on the comedic misadventures of a small-town father navigating domestic life with his wife and children. While it enjoyed modest popularity in its early seasons, the series relied heavily on predictable plots and conventional humor that gradually failed to engage viewers.
Sir Arthur Hale. Hello, Stu. How are June and the girl?
Fine. And your family?
Fine, thanks. Stu, I'm War.
CBS struggled to maintain audience interest as newer, fresher sitcoms emerged, and by 1955, the show was canceled. Today, The Stu Irwin Show is largely forgotten, remembered primarily as a representative example of early 1950s family television, illustrating the challenges of sustaining long-term audience appeal in a rapidly evolving medium. Front Row Center was an ambitious anthology series that aimed to bring live theater performances and dramatic adaptations directly into viewers' homes. Each episode featured a different story, ranging from classic plays to contemporary dramas.
Bad movies, unforgivable television, and even worse, theater. I'm talking bone-crushing theater.
With the goal of offering highbrow entertainment on television. Despite its lofty intentions, the series struggled to connect with audiences. Production limitations, uneven performances, and the challenge of translating stage material to the small screen left many episodes feeling stilted and inaccessible. Ratings were consistently low, and critics noted that the show lacked the excitement and intimacy that successful dramas required. After a single season, Front Row Center was canceled, remembered today as a noble but ultimately unsuccessful experiment in early television anthology programming.